Sup YouTube, Mr. Huber 74 here, taking a little stroll across my property. I'm going to show you guys the new project. Before I do, a little backstory, and the backstory is I traded straight up for this S10. It's a 92 with the 4.3 V6 5-speed manual transmission, 2-wheel drive. Only one little rust area right there. It's easy fix, the back corner of the cab, only in one spot. That's it. Everywhere else is clean. Paint's peeling off. It's got a little patina going. So, what I did to get this truck, which cost me zero money out of pocket, sort of, I had purchased a extended cab F-150 full size, thinking that it just needed head gaskets, 4.2 V6. And I did head gaskets on it. I did the upper and lower intake gaskets. And, well, long story short, after I got it together, I fired it up. I drove it down my street. And once I drove it down the street, the oil pressure dropped off. Started making a lot of noise. So I real quick limped it back home and pulled a dipstick, and it looked like coffee. So it had an internal leak somewhere. My assumption, without going any further, once I tore everything back off I had already done, was that the block had a crack somewhere and I wasn't paying the expense of replacing the engine block. The 4.2 is not known for its reliability or its towing capacity. So I bagged it, and I called a guy that I know that has a towing yard. And I said, hey, come get this thing. Give me a couple $100 for it. I said, I need to go get another truck. He said, what are you looking for? I said, I don't care how ugly it is as long as it runs. He said, well, I got an S10 here and it runs. Doesn't run real well, but it runs. I said, okay. So he literally brought this over with a signed notarized title and dropped it off, and I signed my title and handed it to him, and he loaded it on the truck. And since today is July the 4th, Happy Independence Day, everybody. What's going to wind up happening is I'm going to have you guys with me from the ground up on this thing. Like I said, it's a 4.3 central fuel injection V6. I believe it's rated at 160 or 180 horse and like 240 pound-feet of torque, which is funny because that's actually higher numbers than the 4.2 Ford. This little S10, which is half the size of that truck, has the same amount of towing capacity, which is hilarious. So yeah, all I've done to this was I gave it a tune-up, and now it runs perfect. And when I mean perfect, I mean smoked the tires pulling out of the driveway accidentally. It runs fantastic. Tires are actually in pretty good shape considering it was sitting in a yard. It's got the original factory 14-inch rallies on it. I have all the trim rings and all inside the truck. Interior's not in bad shape. A couple minor things that it needs. So like I said, I'm going to have you guys with me from the ground up on this one. Yeah, it's got the extended cab with the little rumble seats. There's the trim rings and the center caps for all the wheels. But yeah, you guys are going to be with me for the whole ride on this thing. This week we're going to be finishing stripping it down. This is actually just surface rust here. I'm going to sand all this out. It's all surface rust. There's no rust penetrating the body anywhere. This is all surface rust. I'm going to sand it all out. Hit it with some rusty metal primer. Clean everything up real good. Take the grill off. Take the bumpers off. Take all the lights out. Tape off all the glass, even though it needs a windshield. We're going to prime this thing. We're going to do some, we're going to repair that lower cab corner right there where that little bit of rust is. And it's really, it's less than the size of $1 and some surface rust. I'm going to grind all that out. I'm going to cheat. It's going to be fiberglassed. Because this is really just, you know, it's a daily driver, parts, runner, you know, take trash to the junkyard, that kind of thing. It's not a show truck. You know, and I'm going to run it till the 4.3 quits, which right now it's got 180,000 on the clock. which actually is pretty low mileage for a 92. I think I did the math. It works out to about 8,500 miles a year. I know it's been parked for probably like 2 years, but they put a new fuel pump in it. It does run. Like I said, I started up right now. I drove it all around my yard. I drove it down my street. Can't really drive it tomorrow when I get plates on it, but you know, we're going to do brake upgrades, exhaust upgrades, cold air kit. The trick with these really is don't go crazy trying to soup up the 4.3. It's a good motor and you can soup it up for the same amount of money though. You can put a V8 in it. So that's what I'm actually going to prep it for. I'm going to do everything first. Exhaust, brakes, wheels, paint, body, everything. Have it all done. And when that 4.3 quits, we'll take it into the shop over the weekend. Yank out the 4.3. I'm not sure if I'm going to drop in a 305 or a 350. Anything bigger than that, I mean, I could get crazy and, you know, build a 383 stroker, but that 7.5 inch rear ain't going to be able to handle too much. You know, probably a 305 just for towing and torque capacity. You know, I can make a 305. Obviously, you've seen the videos of the Camaro I had built. You know, a 305 in this thing would, it's stupid how fast. This thing would be quick. It wouldn't be fast. I've built fast. It'd be quick, but it'd be reliable. That's the trick. You know, you do a one-piece rear main seal. You probably go like 20 or 30 over on the block and punch it out to like a 308. And make more than enough power. You put some Vortec heads on it. And performer intake, a nice Lopi cam. You know, I'd probably put a towing RV cam in this thing. I'm not going to put a big Lopi cam in it. I want fuel mileage and towing capacity. Plus, I don't want to blow up the NV3500 trans. But yeah, basically free, no money out of pocket. Paint just came off with, I power washed the hell out of it to get all the grime and stuff from the junkyard. And you can see the paint still flaking off with my fingers. A couple little spots, but that's, you know, all I did was power wash the truck since I've got it home and do a tune-up. That's it. That's all I've done. And it runs unbelievable. It absolutely runs fantastic. So, yeah, Mr. Huber 74 here, guys. We got a new toy. Give me your suggestions, comments, any ideas you'd like to see me do. Like I said, I'm not trying to make this a race car. That'll be something we do in the future with another vehicle. This is just a daily driver. But, you know, any ideas, rear disc brake conversions, or ideas for cold air kits you want to see me do, let me know. Put it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace out. Catch you later.